Ryan, look. He's got his Y fronts up his bum. It says he's got Y fronts and it's gone to one side. He's got little Y fronts on, look. Little panties.
Morning everybody, it's Nick at BNP Paving. First up, I'd like to say thank you for the response to last Sunday's video. It was brilliant. So many likes, comments, new subscribers, so thank you very much. It's appreciated. So if you are watching this, please make sure you do hit the like and subscribe buttons. It really helps build the page up. Okay, so this week we're doing quite a large driveway at Carlton in Nottingham. A few little tricky bits I'll show you in a minute, nothing too dramatic. So it'd probably take over a week to do this one. I think it's, sorry, I'm just looking at it out the window. Yeah, I don't fancy trying to get this one done in 5 days. So I'll put in a couple of weeks for it so we can take our time and do what we need to do properly. A few levels to work out and little issues, but nothing that we don't come across on a weekly basis. So it shouldn't be a problem at all. So yeah, in a minute I'll hop out the van and I'll show you around the job.
So that's our man Sean the mechanic with our machine. I used to keep it around the back of my mum's place on the patio, but she got a bit tired of that. So yeah, I'll make Sean look, he's got a yard that's all secured up, cameras and whatnot. So he keeps it, maintains it, uses it occasionally, it's been known, and drops it to and from site for us for quite a minimal fee, to be fair. It's quite a nice little deal we've got going, so it saves us all the hassle, dropping it off, picking it up, storing it. I've got a trailer, I used to tow it, but absolute headache. So I don't think the van was powerful enough to tow the bloody thing anyway. Yeah, it was just a headache every Monday, and then you had to like get the trailer back home, and it was on a main road, and I had to try and unhitch it, get it up this driveway on the main road, and people screaming and shouting at you, and yeah, I couldn't be doing with it. So this is the deal. But it works well. Starts first time every time. See what I mean? It's a lot better doing this than it is towing it and on a little trailer and so on. Nice little flatbed, lower straight down, off the ramp, straight onto the job. A lot less hassle. Not trying to park and store the trailer all day, and then you've got to be careful watching that people aren't nicking things out of the bucket, and it's a nightmare. Out the trailer, should I say. There we go, look. Chauffeur driven, hand delivered. All the way from Cincinnati for one night only. Rock and roll. See? You can't tell me that's not a lot easier than towing things around. Get someone else to do it for you. So as you can see, there's some thick concrete on this job. So we brought out the big guns. This thing, put it this way, if you're in this game and you don't own one of these, then there's no point doing it for a living. So yeah, this thing will easily smash through 2 foot of concrete. It's absolutely unbelievable. It's just a massive hydraulic version of the handbrake that we use to break concrete. Okay, so that is our first grab ready. Got all the concrete broken out and piled up. In fact, there's probably more than a grab load here, to be honest. There's loads. So I don't know if you can tell how much there is there, but I reckon there's a load and a half already. So once this concrete's gone, we'll come back in and tinker with all this side, get that all ready and out, ready to go. So Connor's just setting up the handbrake now. He's going to break this concrete out, get these edgings out so we can replace them. Tomorrow we're going to put a new retaining edge in, 600, I call them council slabs down here. New edgings in. That's what we do. As you can see, Dwayne is here from Kelly Grab and he is picking up our concrete, taking that away. Obviously, because this part of the driveway was all sort of quite thick, about 6 to 8 inch concrete, it's quite a nice load of muck. I call it muck, and it says quite a clean load. So yeah, kind of stuff will probably be crushed up and used for recycled stone. Okay, so that's our first load away. We're just going to now get back in and give it another re-scraping, get it below level. So there'll be another load to go. We're going to get that here in the morning, get a full load of stone here. So yeah, things are going quite well. It's quite a big area. Can't expect to dig this out in a day, to be fair. But yeah, we're getting there. See, we're at depth here, all along down here. It's quite low here anyway. So we're just going to mess about and get some levels.
Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday morning. It's absolutely freezing. Yeah, it's a cold one. That kind of cold where you try and defrost your windscreen and it just freezes again 10 seconds later, so you're driving around blind. You have to pull over and try and clean it with a bank card, that kind of cold. Yeah, job's coming on well. Like I said, it's quite a big driveway, so it's about 100 metres, but we got a majority of it dug out yesterday and we're just waiting for the grab lorry to come this morning. So today's is clear all the waste, so get rid of all the muck, as we'd call it, get rid of all the rubbish. So the grab lorry will come take that away. We're going to get 2 loads of stone in there, compacted. We've got some retaining slab on edge to run down the left-hand boundary of the driveway, and hopefully the path edgings. Chris is a little bit more optimistic about how much we can get done in a day, but I don't see us getting that all done today. So strange things have happened. It depends if things go brilliantly, but we'll see. So yeah, we'll let you know how we go on. I'll give you a little show around when I get out of the van in a minute and show you where we're at. And yeah, look forward to showing you guys what we're doing and how we're doing it.
So as you can see, we're all dug out. Got this pile of muck to go away, just waiting for the lorry now. However, that does look smaller on this camera than it actually is. There's got to be there's good 15 tonne there and more to go. So the plan is we'll get that all gone and away, then we'll get a couple of lorries in of stone, we'll get them tipped in here, ready to knock about. And so we've got like retaining slabs to go down this wall. We've just got to raise the level about half a foot. And of course new edgings across the front, which I've made sound like a really small job, but in reality it's probably going to take a day and a half. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Could be done the end of today if everything goes to plan. Likeliness is it'll take a couple of days to get it stoned up and ready. It's a big job. So not unlike a bus stop, you get 2 lorries here at once. So Kelly Grab's just arrived, John A's at the same time. So unfortunately Kelly Grab snoozed, he's losed. He's gonna have to hang tight 5 minutes. So to be fair, it's only a small delivery, this one, just a few bits the next couple of days. So yeah, as soon as John A's is unloaded, we shall get this muck away. go. Stone's been unloaded. So obviously we're going to unload that first. We'll put that down on the job and then we'll grab this pile of muck away. So by the end of today, it should start looking like a driveway. Right, so we've knocked the first layer of stone around. I'm just going to give it a quick whacker now. Get it all, just give it a once over. We've got more stone coming in, so we're going to whacker this layer, put some more on top and then compact that in 2 layers. So, made that sound really easy. This driveway is massive, so it's probably going to take me about an hour. Everybody, it is Wednesday morning. I've got a few business duties to do this morning, so I'm off quoting. I think the sun's been out a bit last couple of days, so the phone started ringing, which is good. Yeah, problem is I've got 3 this morning, so I'm all around town. So I've got to start off in Sherwood, move to Bulwell, then to Woollerton, and I'll get back over to Mapley, and obviously back to the job. And hopefully I can do that and get back by about 9:30. It's currently 7:30. So these are little bits that you don't really get to see, guys. I can't really record quoting, really. It depends on how they're not customers of mine, you know, so I can't just turn up and start recording people in their pajamas and so on. So it's quite difficult to show you that stuff. But yeah, it was quite difficult yesterday as well to film. We were just so busy. We had, I think in the end, we knocked 40 tonne of stone around. We've got to continue knocking that around today. We put the 600 by 600 concrete slabs all the way down the left side, so we had to trench that out, drop them all in on a bed, back them all up, concrete them all in. So they're all in now and set, but again, I didn't get a chance to record them. So my plan is, obviously, when we get back to site, I'll show you what we did yesterday. Today's a steady one. We're going to put the front path edgings and get those set. We're going to get all the stone in, uncompacted, and just ready for sand, screed and lay tomorrow. The problem I have is, I didn't want the sand and the blocks coming today when things weren't 100% and weren't finished, because it just leads to an overload. It's a big job. There's going to be 8 tonne washed, 10 plus packs of blocks, so space is very limited, and if the stone isn't ready and compacted, we can't put the sandbags on there. So that means 8 tonne of sand in bags will have to go on the pavement, and we'll have to handball it all and whatever. So for the hassle and the stress of trying to organise all that, it was a lot easier just to get the stuff here tomorrow. So what it might mean is that we have a quiet day today, quite an easy day. Just get the edgings in, probably a little half day, finish 1-2 o'clock ish. We'll rest up a little bit, and then tomorrow we'd literally hit the ground running. We'll put the bar straight in, we'll screed it all, sand screed and lay. Yeah, easily. It's going to be a tough day. We've got to lay like 90, 100 meters in a day. That's the plan anyway. So we'll see how it goes. But the problem is it's a 9 by 10 meter square. It's very difficult to lay 2 of you, because you've got to cover like a 5 meter expanse each. So it takes a lot out of you, because you're moving around and you have to get up and crawl around and go and lay a bit over here, then lay a bit over there, and it just becomes a nightmare. So it's really tough on these bigger jobs, but we'll get done. We've got 5 men on it. I've got no doubt in my mind that it'll get laid up tomorrow unless something bizarre happens, which I can't see. So yeah, fingers crossed, we'll get it all wrapped up for you. So again, apologies if the video is a bit sketchy in terms of things missing and whatever. I'm still quite new to this. I've only been doing it 4 months, and sometimes I just can't justify picking a phone up and recording things and messing around when there's stuff to be done. You know, it's kind of a luxury to be able to record this for you guys and be able to show you what's going on. So if all hands are on deck and we're all working really hard trying to get things done to a deadline, things have to this has to take a bit of go on the back burner a little bit, unfortunately. But yeah, plenty going on. I think this job won't be completed by the time you guys see this video. I think it'll be middle of next week. I think we'll get it laid up this week, so you guys will see us get it all laid and whatever. So probably start cutting in on Friday and concreting and so on. But it'll be finished, I reckon, Tuesday, Wednesday next week. It's a big old chunk of land. Just the whackering up and down probably take, just compacting the stone and the sand and things is going to take hours, you know, up and down with that bloody whacker. So headphone time, put some music on. So anyway, I'll get the quotes done,
flick to a little time lapse of me driving about, and then we'll get back to site and show you how Chris and the boys are getting on. Okay, so it's took me 2.5 hours quoting, got stuck in traffic, absolute nightmare, but I'm finally back at the job. So it's what you have to do when you run a business. If I didn't get them quotes in this morning, I've got loading and laying blocks tomorrow, Friday, and end up doing them on the weekend. So it's better to get them out of the way, get them done and dusted, obviously at the customer's convenience, than it is to leave them till the weekend, then end up working your whole weekend. So yeah, finish work today, I'll get home, type them up, get them sent off. Let's take a look at what's been happening on site.
Okay, so I've just arrived on site. Things are starting to look good. As you can see, all the stones now in. Got to whacker it all, compact it. We haven't done that yet, but it's all been knocked about. First layer's gone in yesterday, was knocked about and whackered and compacted. Second layer's just gone down, been raked around. We're going to whacker that shortly. Got some new drainage coming in along here. There's actually an access point there, if you can see, underneath this drain. So we're going to pipe it into that drainage in the garage. There's a manhole in the garage, which is always fun. And these are the, I say edgings, they're 600 slabs. So we trenched it out yesterday, we dug a trench, we've dropped those into the ground, backfilled it with concrete. So don't think they'll be set yet, so I'm going to compact, but just not go too close. We'll do that in the morning, and we'll get that all in. But yeah, it's starting to take shape. So just setting the string up now, put the path edgings in, trenched it out, ready. Connor did 1/3 of it, got tired, got little sweaty boobs and couldn't continue, so I had to stop. And then the old guys had to show him how to do it, didn't the Foldsy?
Old guys?
Well, Chris is older than you, and he dug out more than you. So you see, we're just setting up a string line. I'm going to run these edgings in. Okay, so the edgings are slowly going in. I think it's 13 of them. It's a long run, so it's quite a lot to do. Isn't it, Foldsy?
It is indeed, my bro.
My mate Foldsy here. Show your face. Man like Foldsy. He has volunteered to make this go around this for about an hour. So he's going to do me proud while I nip off and do some paperwork. And he's going to whacker this whole driveway. We do it 8 times. It's the way we do it. It's the way I was taught. Things don't sink, so it obviously works. So we'll go over to a time lapse of getting that done. Fortunately, by the edgings going in and the whackering, that's about all we'll get done today, because I say the materials aren't coming until tomorrow, because as I say, there's a lot of stuff going on the front and I didn't want to get too much stuff here and get a complaint. So we'll get this all clear today. Machines going, being taken back into storage, and we can tomorrow we'll get this driveway laid up, show you how the big boys do it. So be about 100 meters laid tomorrow. I reckon we're done Tuesday next week.
Okay, party people, it is Thursday morning. We are stoned up, edgings in, edging restraints down the left hand side. That's all complete. I'm just sat here now. It's early as usual. It's about 7:20. I'm waiting for John A. Stevens to make an appearance and deliver our materials. So we've got a good haul of materials coming today. There's at least 15-20 ton materials coming. We've got about 10 packs of blocks, 8 bags of sand, 8 bulk bags, ton bulk bags of sand. So that's all going to be knocked about and levelled. So it's going to be a tough day today. We're aiming to get the whole driveway laid, dry laid, which means sand screeded and the blocks down today. But it's quite a task. And the problem is, with it being a square of a roughly 9x9 or 10x10 square meters, it's very hard to cover the area. So you'll have three people loading, three people loading blocks out and 2 people laying, but that means you've got a diameter or a width of about 5 meters to cover each. It means a lot of crawling up and down and walking up and down and trying to move, so you lose a lot of time covering the area. And there's no real way of doing it any difference, because obviously if you start in the corner of the square and work your way towards the middle, as you get towards the central point, it's the widest point, which is going to be about 10 square meters. So yeah, it just makes it really difficult to well, you are getting blocks laid, but it just feels like you're not, because it just seems to go in so slowly. But we've done it before, we'll do it again. We can hit 120 square meters in a day, 140 on a good run. So it's not a problem. It just depends on positive mental attitude. So we'll see how the boys turn up today.
We've got John A. Stevens here, just unloading all the materials, as you'll see in the time lapse. We've put I think we're putting 7 tonnes of sand down, 1 on the road, well, on the pavement, ready for mixing. We'll get all these blocks laid in today, start getting this front sided up ready. Edgings are all in and set now. It's looking good. On the raky rake this morning, lot. So we've knocked the sand down, we drop it in tons, and then we spread it about 1 inch thick, and then we compact that. Connell's fully qualified with that rake, aren't you, Connell?
Yeah, I got my licence in college.
He got his licence in college, moved on to his advanced, he went to Oxford University,
Yep.
And then they were so happy with Oxford, Cambridge snaked him, and he went to Cambridge for a little bit.
After that, I went to Hogwarts.
Then he went to Hogwarts, won a couple of thingy races, yacht races, whatever they call it. What them they're rich folk do. What do they do? It's not yacht racing. What is it? When they race that, they have that race every year. The 2 unis, don't they, down the Thames in London?
Oh,
I was going to say dragon boat, but it's not dragon boat racing, is it? You know what I mean, though. They have that race, don't they?
came first at Polo. So.
They're buying polos. Through the day, when the crane grabbed the pallet, it's crushed it. So the blocks have collapsed a little bit. So we have to hand load these ones off. As you can see, it's all. Basically the pallet's flat. Happens every now and again. To be fair, that pallet's probably not fit for this job really. It's a bit too thin one. We'll get it sorted, we'll stack them here for now. Foldsy has done an absolutely beautiful job of raking the sand around. I think we've got a bit too much on here though, so we're going to whacker it now and see if we have. Sometimes when you whacker it, it compacts that well that you don't need to take any out. So, should be good. So Connell's going to give it a little run around with the whacker. So that is us all whackered. Now we're going to give it a screed and see how it goes from there. Okay, let's get this job laid. So it's 3 p.m. now. Sorry I haven't been able to record a lot today, but we have not stood up. We've just been laying blocks all day. So it's all in. Just got to put the drainage in at the bottom tomorrow, plumb it all in. It's looking pretty good. It's massive. I think you could park about 8 cars on this. So whoever was saying the other week, what they're saying, well, 2 of us can lay 50 metres in a day. Well, there's 4 of us and we can lay 100. There you go. See, this is one of the problems of working outdoors. People's horrible little feral cats. Look, it didn't even do it in the sand. It couldn't be bothered. It dug a little hole for it, look. And then just did it on the block paving. So that about sums up as like an analogy of our lives. So I've offered Chris £100 to pick it up and lick it, but he won't do it. It's gross. Who's that getting thrown at? So, me and Folsey on a little mission this morning. We've had to nip to my old headmaster rang up, believe it or not. He'd remembered me from my schooling days due to me being a top A-grade student, pillar of the community. So, you know, he knows I'm a scallywag and I do driveways. So we're just nipping to his house, got a little drainage problem, so we're going to sort that out. It's just a bit of pointing. Bless him, he's 80 odd now, so he can't lift the manhole up. It's a bit odd going these recess lids with the pavers in. And to be fair, they do weigh about 50, 60 kilo. So they're quite difficult for one person anyway. I'd probably struggle on my own. So yeah, we're gonna go get that done. Then we'll get back to site, and Chris is just dropping some drainage channels in, and then we're gonna get cutting this driveway in. Hey Ryan, look, he's got his Y fronts up his bum. Chris says he's got Y fronts and it's gone to one side. He's got little Y fronts on, look. Little panties. Right, that is us done for this week. As I said, we won't get this job finished this week. It'll be done Monday, so we'll show you in the next week's video, this job getting finished. It's going really well, really happy with how things are going, and for the size of the job to get what we've got done so far is brilliant. So yeah, next week we've got a few little odd jobs to do, which will be quite cool to show you. We've got a step to do in Mansfield, and we've got like a little pathway, slab path thing to do for a customer who's got a problem with people falling down the step and hurting himself. So I'll show you next week. It's a really strange setup. So yeah, let's hope you guys all have a good weekend. Remember to click like and subscribe, and we shall see you next week.